Hi, my name is Solo P1 and today we're going to be talking about the 2018 Canadian Grand Prix race. And before we start getting into the race, usually I upload my videos on a Sunday. As soon as the Grand Prix finishes, I do my recording. No editing, like I said on my previous videos. It's just a straight record and upload. No editing. Everything you hear from me is honest. In my opinion, it's honest, and I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not gonna start trying to make something good out of nothing. If there's a bad situation, if I think this person's not doing well, like Hamilton or Ricciardo, whatever, even though I like the both drivers, if they're not doing well, I'll come out and say it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna come out and say it. Like I said, I usually upload my videos on a Sunday, but last night I didn't feel that well. I missed the beginning of the Grand Prix, and I caught half of it, and then I took some notes, like I usually do, and then obviously when the Grand Prix was over, I had to rewind the skybox, start from the beginning again, and take a few more notes again. And because it was in Canada, I live in the UK. It finished kind of late, so I thought to myself, I'll do a few notes, and then tomorrow I'll upload it. I'm sorry if it didn't come up. I didn't upload it sooner, but I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Now, the Canadian Grand Prix. Where should I start? I know. I'll start with Mercedes. All I can say is, you done yourself, you done yourself, you done yourself. That's what happens when you get too cocky. You thought you had the season sewn up, but you never. You thought, yeah, we're 14, 13 points ahead of Ferrari. Don't worry, we'll go into Monaco, try and finish second or third, lose a couple of points, but we're going to Canada. And because Lewis Hamilton has won the Canadian Grand Prix 5 times in a row, and he was gone for his 7th time to equal Michael Schumacher's record. Oh yeah, don't worry, Lewis will win the Canadian Grand Prix. Well, you was wrong. You was totally wrong. The strategy again was off. As soon as when I heard, I think it was just before the Grand Prix, a couple of days before the Grand Prix started. I read an article on the internet, and it said, Mercedes have decided not to bring the power unit. They haven't got the power unit. They haven't got the new upgrade, the turbo, whatever. And then I thought, why? Why haven't you got your turbo? Why haven't you got your engine? You are the biggest manufacturer, along with Ferrari, in the F1. And you thought, oh, I'm going to be cocky now. Oh, I won't have to bring my turbo. I won't have to bring this. I'll get through the Canadian Grand Prix because Lewis has got it sewn up there. He's won it so many times. And then what we'll do, we'll bring the upgrade in France. But, well, you was wrong. You was totally wrong. Lewis Hamilton having problems with his radiator through the race, having problems with his car, cooling down system. I actually read something on the internet that this came from Lewis Hamilton's mouth. So it ain't rubbish. It's not bullcrap. He actually said he thought every lap his car was going to stop. He was going to lose power. He weren't going to flipping finish the race. So what the hell's that about? You put a man in a car and not sure if it's going to finish the race or not. That's what it looked like to me. And like I said, your strategy that you've got totally wrong, a Mercedes. Now, I'm gonna take my hat off to Sebastian Vettel. From the beginning of the Grand Prix, practice session, qualies, race, he led the way. Just like Lewis Hamilton led the way in the Spanish Grand Prix. And I thought maybe Mercedes they're gonna start pushing on. But Ferrari responded at the Canadian Grand Prix. And hats off to Sebastian Vettel. Oh yes, I am a Mercedes fan. But when the team's doing bad, I'm going to tell you that it's doing bad. And Mercedes, you're not doing good. Niki Lauda said it as well. So Ferrari's car is absolutely amazing. And I totally agree. And at this point in time, this part of the season, we're a third into the season, I think that Ferrari are got to be the favourites. It's the most reliable car as we speak at the moment. At the third part of the season, Ferrari are the favourites. Oh yeah, people are going to say about the upgrade. Yeah, the upgrade, it was missing. But Lewis Hamilton doesn't seem himself. He don't seem like he's happy. He's just accepting. Oh yeah, he says. But even before the Canadian Grand Prix started, he said that Ferrari the favourites, which I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have come out and said that in the press. I wouldn't have said that Ferrari the favourites. Maybe he was doing a reverse psychology thing, but it backfired on Mercedes. Disappointing for Mercedes. Bottas got the second. The only thing I was a bit skeptical about is why did Valtteri Bottas' car seem like it was a lot faster than Lewis Hamilton? I'm just putting that out there. I'm not making no excuses. Hats off to Bottas. He got second place. A lot of people criticise him in the press. A lot of people criticise him on social media. And he's answering the questions. He said, okay, do you want to criticise me? I'm the one who's been on pole. I'm the one who's been on the podium more times than Hamilton, which I think he has this season. So hats off to Bottas. He may not be leading the drivers' championship, but he's up there. He dropped a few places down in Monaco, and he responded in Canada, and now he's back up to, I think it is Vettel on top now, Hamilton second, and Bottas third. So he responded. He was below Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo, and now he's responded, and he's back into third place. So respect to Valtteri Bottas. So I think at the beginning I thought it was probably going to be a Mercedes championship this year. I know it's too early to say. It's too early. Got a bit of hay fever. Sorry. I know it's a bit too early to predict, but Ferrari are looking good. And again, I'm going to move on to another subject before I start this review. It's not even going to be a review, just my thoughts on it, really. I'm not going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb like I usually do. I'm just going to mention the parts, what stuck out for me. And I've got to say, Alonso, bad luck for him. It was bad luck, really, from the qualies. He couldn't even make it to the third qualifying session because of his car breaking down, per usual. And he was going for his 300th Grand Prix, which it was his 300th Grand Prix this weekend, race day. And again, he couldn't even finish because he had power issues with his car. Bad luck for Alonso. I don't know where he goes from here. I'm not sure if he's going to go and start driving on the Indy circuit, because I know he's got Le Mans coming up. He wants to be the first driver to win all 3 major championships, and I think he's going to do it. I saw one of his interviews on Sky. He was saying, I want to win this last championship so I can say I'm the best in the world, which I thought was good. Because to me, he's one of the best in the world. It's the fact that none of the top manufacturers want him, because they believe he's too political and he's going to answer them back, and I don't want that. But as I see, he was a bit like Ayrton Senna, really. Ayrton Senna, if something was wrong, he'd say it. If he didn't like somebody, he'll say it. That's one thing I liked about Ayrton Senna, and that's what I like about Alonso. Alonso's a man's man. And, yeah, bad luck for Alonso. But he got his 300th race. Will he be there next season? I hope he is. If he's not there next season, good luck to him in his future endeavours. But I think he'll be there next season. Why not? I bet they're paying him a lot, McLaren, to stay there. Maybe they're going to double his wages for him to stay there next season. Because he's good marketing for McLaren. Van Dor's not really cutting the mustard, is he? I'm not saying he's not a good driver, but he's not really cutting the mustard. Yeah, Alonso's out qualifying him every single race. So, what do you expect? They need to hang on to Alonso. So I'm going to start moving on to the race, really. The only thing really what stuck out for me was at the beginning. As soon as it started, you had Vettel starting off in P1, 2 Valtteri Bottas, Verstappen 3, and Hamilton 4th. They started off in the race, and within 30 seconds of the race, there was a big crash. Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley. Lance Stroll for the Williams, Brendan Hartley for Toro Rosso. Both out the race. Gone. And I really felt sorry for Lance Stroll. He's a hometown boy from Canada, and he couldn't even finish the race. Williams must be exhausted, frustrated, and thinking what else could go wrong. They're not doing well, Williams. You know how I feel about the Williams manufacturer and the history. It's on my other videos. I've mentioned it numerous of times. I'm not going to go over it again. I'm not going to repeat myself. If you want to know what I think about the Williams, check out my other videos. But yeah, Lance Stroll, homeboy, Canada, didn't cut the mustard on Sunday. Bad luck for him out of the race. He must have been gutted. Brendan Hartley as well. He's out, but Lance Stroll, hometown boy, Canada. He'd been waiting for this for a long time to show his stuff. I know it's a bit hard for him to show his stuff in the car he's in, but he still wanted to make himself proud and the Canadians proud. But obviously he didn't finish the race. He was out straight away, so bad luck to him. Yeah, and that's the only thing what really stood out for me. Oh yeah, at the beginning as well, you had a little side to side at the beginning. You had Verstappen tried to take Bottas on the first turn, but Bottas responded, put his elbows out, and thought, "No, you're not going to pass me." And Bottas showed a bit of grit, and a lot of people thought he didn't have grit. I thought he didn't have grit. I'm one of them. I'm going to admit it. I thought, oh, Verstappen's probably going to pass him here because Bottas is one of those drivers. He's not aggressive enough. He's more of a safe driver. But it proved me wrong. And yeah, Verstappen passed Bottas. And no, Bottas stopped Verstappen from passing him on the first sector. This week, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Usually I'll just start talking about the Grand Prix. Start going through it with a fine tooth and comb. But I'm gonna play some highlights, and it's just over 6 minutes long. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this format with me playing the highlights and after me talking about it, or do you want me to just talk about it? Just let me know. Obviously, I can't show video footage for copyright. But I'm going to play the highlights of the Grand Prix, just over 6 minutes long. Let me know what you think. I'm going to play it now. Hold on. Here we go.
It's lights out, and away we go. Verstappen does start very well. Sebastian Vettel covers it across. Bottas has got a fight on his hands against Verstappen, and he loses out. But going into turn two, trying to fight back again. It's wheel to wheel. As Vettel goes away, Bottas gets ahead of Max Verstappen. Then comes Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, and Esteban Ocon on the inside going into the chicane of Nico Hülkenberg, but just a bit too far back. Oh, and there's a massive crash. It's Brendan Hartley, and he's got tangled up with Lance Stroll. And coming out of that chicane, Hartley got squeezed up again. against the fence, but Williams, an innocent bystander in that. And for the second race running, Brendan Hartley is out. This time it wasn't a car crashing into him. It was him crashing into Lance Stroll, and it was Stroll just ahead who left him no room whatsoever. These things happen on the first lap in Canada.
The first lap, like I mentioned before, guys.
First, yeah, copy you. Okay, got a puncture. I think I had a puncture.
Got a puncture in his wheel.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. He just ran me out of road.
I don't
Stroll got some oversteer in the middle of the corner. The back end stepped out. He had to countersteer. He had to turn into the slide, just like you do on an icy road.
We're going to get this race going once again. Sebastian Vettel will get the jump. Watch Verstappen behind Bottas. Watch Bottas go as well. We are racing here in Montreal. Vettel leads Bottas. Verstappen, Hamilton, Ricardo Raikkonen, Ocon ahead now of Nico Hülkenberg as well. As through to turn one they go. And Sebastian Vettel got a great restart there. And going wide, Sergio Perez in the Force India. Getting it all wrong down at turn one. Cold tyres, cold brakes. It's caught him out. And Perez going tumbling down the rankings as a result. Let's have a look at it here. And he made contact with Carlos Sainz. Sergio Perez, we've seen going into the barriers after tangling with Felipe Massa before. That time it was Sainz.
Perez hit me very hard.
Man, what did Sainz do? He just took me off.
Meanwhile, there's Charles Leclerc on Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc having a great old scrap there in 10th place.
Yeah. This has been quite a story this year, hasn't it? Alonso trying to beat the youngster.
And can he get past the youngster? Let us see. Into turn one we go. Alonso is forced wide as he tries to move past the Sauber. Has to yield. Red stripe super soft tyre, and also for Lewis Hamilton as well. Where does Hamilton feed into this race?
I think Hamilton picked too early.
Ideally, he'd want to be ahead of the Sauber.
And he come out, Ricardo passed him.
So wide, Lewis got so wide coming out of a very dusty pit lane.
Too early.
Now Ricardo has responded here. He's responded with what could be the fastest lap. They're hurtling down the main straight at nearly 200 miles an hour. And coming out now, Daniel Ricciardo into the racetrack proper. Daniel Ricciardo has got ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
So he loses 2 places, Hamilton. Like I said, the strategy by Mercedes was terrible.
Yeah, so Lucy, the stop was brought early. See if we could sort this PU problem. It's helped at least a little bit.
Hamilton said, why did you pick so early? My fault, exactly. Why pick too early? Should have waited a couple more laps.
There is the Red Bull of Daniel
The car was still
Ricciardo,
rubbish.
the Williams of Sergei Sorokin, and Hamilton just behind him.
Overheating radiator.
To move out of the way, but to get in the way. And is that going to hamper Hamilton? No. He just stays ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. That could have been all sorts of bother there. But in the end, no real harm done.
Okay, let's so strap 5. It's hammer time.
Hammer time. You ain't getting no hammer time with a dodgy radiator, pal. That's going to blow up any minute now.
Sat in the grandstand
no hammer time.
with the fans.
Need to retire, but we'll return to the garage. We will return to the garage.
300th Grand Prix weekend for Fernando Alonso, and that sinking feeling that he experienced way too often on his return to McLaren.
Look at Zach Brown's face.
Not happy.
No Bottas sit standing there.
Executive officer, absolute waste
just
of
looking like, oh, you know what's going on. Still can't get the car right. 300th Grand Prix. Look at him. Alonso has to stop. Pathetic.
You've seen this before.
McLaren, man, pathetic.
The car in front.
Mate, did you see what Ocon did to me?
Standing there, Zach Brown.
And that is Valtteri Bottas trying to get past
someone's
Carlos
took his
Sainz.
flipping money off at school. Someone's taking his money.
So
he's at school. Someone's taking his money and his sweets.
Let him through,
and he's standing there like this.
He's about to make a mistake.
Zach Brown.
Right there. That's just undone.
From
McLaren. All the good work he's put in over the last 3 laps.
Yeah.
And you know
Chief of marketing.
And how much time did he lose to Sebastian Vettel in that first sector? 1.8 seconds.
And Lewis, can you go HBP 1, position 1, 1, position 1. That gives you everything on the overtake.
I'll turn the radio off if I was Hamilton.
Mercedes has never been dialed into the racetrack all weekend. It looks like he's just been dancing around.
Hamilton's slipping everywhere.
Very low pressure in the rear tyre.
We are on to the final lap of this race. Kimi Raikkonen in the top 6, bit detached. Hamilton's trying to gain on Daniel Ricciardo, who's responded. The checker flag is being waved, but we're waiting for the race leader on that checker flag, and Sebastian Vettel is out and turns 8 and 7 at the moment.
Tell them not to wave the checkered flag when it's not done yet.
One lap.
And he will retake the championship lead. Sebastian Vettel wins the Canadian Grand Prix and has led this race from start to finish.
Bottas
from Spain,
finishing ahead of Verstappen. Ricardo
when Hamilton dominated in Spain. Vettel responded. Hats off to him, man.
It was 1/10 of
Mercedes
a second
in for a
between
dogfight
Bottas
this season.
and Verstappen.
Dogfight.
Ricardo holds off Lewis Hamilton.
Ferrari's not going anywhere.
Will take
We're not going to go away.
place.
We will not walk into the night. We will not fail.
Grande lavoro, grande.
Grande, grazie.
Grazie.
Fair play to him. Hats off to him. And that was the highlights from the Grand Prix. So that's a new format I'll probably be using when I do my reviews on Formula 1. Like I said, I can't use no video because of copyright, but I could probably play some audio, some highlights. So if you prefer that format, let me know in the comments below, and I should be doing that in the future. But my thoughts on the Grand Prix, it was a lot better than Monaco, put it that way. Because you know Monaco, I don't really like Monaco. No overtaking, pointless. What kind of a Grand Prix when you can't even overtake? I think out of 10, I'll give it about 6. Just about 6.5. So, 6.5. It was a decent Grand Prix. Ferrari were absolutely on point for the whole. You heard Martin Brundle on there saying all season they've been on point. From the practice session to qualies to race. Ferrari, obviously Kimi Räikkönen had a bit of bad luck in qualifying at the end when his car slipped, because maybe he could have been on the front grid. He could actually definitely could have been on the front grid with Vettel, but he slipped a bit in qualies. But overall, the Ferrari were brilliant. They're still not ahead of the construction, but they're leading the championship table by 1 point. So it is wide open now. Wide open. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do, if you want me to do the championships, the table. See if I can get this up here. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, that's why it is, isn't it? So it's gonna be close. So you got Vettel on top of the championship, Hamilton second with so basically I'll go for the drivers' championship. You got the Sebastian Vettel on 121 points. You got Lewis Hamilton on 120. Point behind him, Valtteri Bottas on 86, Daniel Ricciardo on 84. I could see an interesting battle between Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo because there's only 4 points between them. I could see that's going to be a tasty battle as the season progresses through 2018. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe Bottas has got the advantage because Mercedes supposed to have the strongest engine, but I'm not sure. They said that with Canada, look what happened. And so that's going to be interesting. Daniel Ricciardo on 4th place, 84 points. Kimi Räikkönen on 5th place on 68 points. Max Verstappen for Red Bull on 50 points. Alonso 32 on 32 points in 7th. Hülkenberg in 8th on 32 points. So Hülkenberg and Fernando Alonso both got the same points. Carlos Sainz in 9th on 24 points. Kevin Magnussen and for Haas at 19 points. And Pierre Gasly for France, 18 points. Sergio Perez in 12th for 17 points. Esteban Ocon in 13th, 11 points. And Charlotte Leclerc, Serbia Ferrari, 10 points. 15th place, Stoffel Van Dorn for McLaren, Renault, 8 points. Lance Stroll in 16th. Williams 4 points. Marcus Ericsson for Sweden for Sauber Ferrari with 2 points, and Brendan Hartley in 18th with 1 point, and Roman Grosjean and Sergio Sorokin with no points at all. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting race. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. I can't call it. You know, I can't call who's going to win it. I'll do the race results for Canada. I'll do the race results. The race results are Sebastian Vettel, he won P1, 2 Valtteri Bottas, 3 Max Verstappen, 4th Daniel Ricciardo, 5th Lewis Hamilton, 6th Kimi Räikkönen, 6th Kimi Räikkönen, 7th Nico Hülkenberg, 8th Carlos Sainz, 9th Esteban Ocon, 10th Charles Leclerc, 11th Pierre Gasly, 12th Roman Grosjean, 13th Kevin Magnussen, 14th Sergio Perez, 15th Marcus Ericsson, 16th Stoffel Van Dorn, 17th Sergio Sorokin, 18th Fernando Alonso, 19th Brendan Hartley, and Lance Stroll in 20th. And that was the result of the Canadian Grand Prix race day. That was my final thoughts on it. I'm sorry it was a bit quick, you know, but I got nothing more to say. I'm not gonna sit here and start talking rubbish for nothing. I'm just gonna give you my final thoughts and what I thought of it, and that was it. I think it was about 6.5 out of 10. Sorry, my throat. Yeah. So again, follow me on YouTube, Solo P1. Follow me on Twitter, Solo P1, and you can catch me on Twitch, Solo_P1. I would appreciate the like. I stream all games from racing games like Seto Corsa, Seto Corsa, Race Room. I set from them kind of games to Call of Duty, Tomb Raider, all games like that. I like it, all games really. It depends on the mood I'm in for that day, but I'll be streaming probably later on today. I'll probably be streaming Forza, Project Cars, I don't know. So look out for me on Twitch. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that's it really. Thank you very much, guys. Oh yeah, by the way, before I go, look out for my Raw review, which I'll be doing tomorrow. WWE Raw, because I also do WWE wrestling now. I was supposed to do a SmackDown review, but I didn't get round to it, sorry. But this week I'll definitely do my SmackDown review. That'll be the first SmackDown review I've done. This week is going to be my 4th Raw, so I'm kind of new to it. I'm a big wrestling fan, but I'm new to reviewing wrestling. So look out for them too. So that's it really. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.